Hey guys, so today Fairby and I are telling you what all we bring with us on service dog outings. This is actually a request video, so thank you so much. I really appreciate requests. Also, bear with us, the weather is sunny and cloudy today, so it might be shifting a little bit. I actually carry two different types of bags. So I'm going to show you what I used to carry whenever Fairby was first starting out, because I think that's a different amount of stuff than what I carry now. I got Fairby as a 10-week-old puppy as a service dog prospect. So what we used to carry whenever we were training is much different at, you know, a couple months old versus now at 5. My confidence in her has grown, so I don't feel like I need as much of like emergency supplies, like, you know, for cleanup and stuff like that. And I feel like I can kind of get by with less. But of course, as a puppy, or as just a young dog at all, a dog that you're new to. And this could even be a dog that's just new to you. Maybe you've got a program dog and maybe it's just new to you. So maybe you're learning the dog. So I think in those kind of cases, carrying kind of what I call the full load is maybe a little bit better anyway until you know your dog better. So let me show you what we have. First things first, this is the bag that I love. It is empty right now because I have everything out to show you, but this is a crossbody bag. And it goes on your back, and because of how it straps across you like this, it will not fall off if you have to bend over and take care of your dog, whatever you need to do. It can fit everything I'm going to show you. Also, we have astronomical pollen here, so my voice sounds like this a little bit. Anyways, first thing I think is important for all service dogs to have is a travel mat. The one we like is from Roughwear. It folds up like this, as you see. This is how big it gets. They have one bigger than this as well. The back of it is completely waterproof and it's slip resistant. So this is actually for camping, but it could totally, we've used it at restaurants before. We've used it outside before. I honestly let Fairby have, if she ever has chews on the porch, this is what she has them on. And what I do that for is to build positive association with this, because there's no real reason for her to use this. So whenever she sees this, she gets so excited because she thinks something good is going to happen. She also knows that this is what she lays on whenever we go out in public. So a lot of times you'll see this if we go out and she's under the table, she'll have this. As you can see, that fits completely in the kava bag. Like, you can't even see it. It's completely behind everything. The other thing I would carry is a water bottle. You can use a reusable water bottle, whatever you want, just a water bottle with some water in it. And of course, a collapsible dish. You could probably have two of these if you're gonna be gone long enough to have to bring food with you as well, but always at least have one of these. Absolutely, no matter what, make sure they have a way to drink. Fairby likes a cup, so we can kind of get a cup on the go. That's not a huge deal, but I do always have a travel bowl with her just in case, because you don't ever know what is gonna be available. A travel bowl can fit in here as well. Bring treats. Bring treats, bring treats. Another thing that I always take is a way to log my training, a way to document what you're training, a way to document what you're supposed to be training and like stay on track for yourself, a way to remember tasks that you're practicing. Anything that you need to remember for yourself is always very important to have with you. I actually make service dog training planners, so I'll link those for you, but I really like that it's on the phone, so that way it's with me all the time and I don't ever have to sit there and be like, oh my gosh, I wish I remembered what I was supposed to be training, because it's just on my phone and my planner. So I'll link those for y'all, but that's something I highly recommend having, is just a way to document your training, way to log your hours, way to log all that kind of stuff for yourself, and a way to keep track of your progress, because that's the key to success, is actually tracking where you are so that you can see where you're going and see what needs improvement. So that's important. I always have baby wipes with me. I actually just take a few out of this and put it in a Ziploc bag before I go, but having baby wipes is really important. And always take extra, take more than you think you need. Of course, you can use this to clean your dog up, but also think like muddy paws. Think about if you get something on you and you need to wipe it off and you're out, like all of that kind of stuff. Something else I always take is an extra vest. So Fairby has these little fabric vests, and so I always keep an extra vest on hand, because I don't ever know, like sometimes we'll start out and we won't need a vest and then we will. So having an extra vest is really handy for me. I actually made this one. I have a sewing tutorial that I made that I'll link for you where you can learn how to make this, but it's just super simple. I mean, I rotate which one I keep in her bag, to be honest with you, but I just always keep one of these because it's just really thin. You can see it folds up tiny. It's literally just two pieces of like sheet material basically sewn together. And that works out really well. So it works out nice because it is lightweight, number one, and then it folds up really tiny, but also it gets really hot around here. And sometimes just having something lightweight to like signify that, yes, this is a service dog, that's awesome to have. Another thing, service dogs are not required to wear a vest in the US, but it does make it a lot easier, I'll say. Like I feel like I get less trouble from the public. I feel like I get less interactions. I will say that I feel like the children typically know service dog vest for some reason, and they're like, oh, it's a service dog, we're not supposed to talk to them. Or if it's really little kids and the parents are still having to teach, I've noticed that the vest helps parents to say, no, that dog's working, or that dog's, you know, that their label says not to touch or whatever. So I've noticed that it helps for that. And I've also noticed that I get less trouble going into businesses. So not necessarily places that we frequent all the time where they know us, but I'm talking about if I'm going somewhere new, I will absolutely put a vest on her. I don't care, because it is just not worth the drama. So carry that, just an extra one. I also keep an ADA law card inside of Fairby's vest pocket. I keep it on my phone as well. And then I also keep a few printed out in my wallet. I have these listed on my website, so I'll link those for you. But you can also just screenshot something like this and have it on your phone. I've only had to use the ADA card twice, I think. And one time it was because I couldn't remember what the questions are that people are allowed to ask, and I thought they asked something wrong, and so I looked at my card because I was like, wait a minute, let me see if you're allowed to ask this. Because the ADA cards, it tells you the questions that people are allowed to ask, and then it also tells your rights as a handler. I recommend having something like that. The other tip that no one asked for is, I am a very big believer in walking away instead of ruining your day. So if at all possible, if you do go somewhere and they are trying to deny you access, unless you're meeting people there and you have to be there, or unless you've prepaid or something, I'm a really big fan of just saving the drama for later and being like, you know what, that's cool, we'll go somewhere else. And then maybe contact the place later and let them know about the problem. Because you have to think, if you are being denied access somewhere or someone's giving you trouble, well, yes, it's wrong. It is ruining your day while you sit there and battle it out and try to make it better with these people and try to educate them and everything else. So I'm a big believer in it's okay to walk away, leave an ADA card, let them know that you will be reaching back out to handle this if you want to. Your piece is worth a lot. So that's why I say I'm a big fan of walking away if you can. The other thing is, if you are going somewhere, this is another thing that people get pissed at me about, but I'm going to tell you anyway. What I do if I'm going somewhere and I know either it's somewhere that I'm going as a destination, like I'm going out of my way to go there and it's going to be a fee to enter, like a museum or something like that, for example, is I call ahead of time and I just say, hi, I'm planning to visit your museum on whatever day. My service dog will be with me. I just wanted to find out if there is re-entry into the building if we go out after we get our tickets, because I will have my service dog and we may need to go out for her to use the restroom. And that's what I say. And I make sure I say service dog twice and I ask it like that, because that way you're not, and it doesn't matter if you know there's re-entry or not, okay? The reason I do this is because you're calling, you're letting them know someone's going to be showing up with a service dog in a few days. If they have a problem with dogs right then, whoever's on the phone with you, if they're not sure, they're going to put you on hold and go find a manager and ask. I promise you, whoever answers, and then everybody's going to be aware, because the manager's going to know. The manager's going to either come to the phone and talk to you and tell you whatever about dogs, or they're going to say, oh yeah, we totally have a way. That happens all the time, blah, blah, blah. We even have special bandanas for them. You get a special sticker, whatever. They will either have a protocol and you'll know, or either you're gonna realize it might be a nightmare. That's why I recommend doing that. I know a lot of people, I have mentioned that in service dog groups before, and people have been like, no, that's not right. You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to. But the reason I'm telling you this is because it saves you such a headache. It's not asking for permission either. That's why I word it in a way of, I want to make sure there's re-entry for using, like if my dog has to use the restroom, because that way you're not saying, can I bring my service dog, or what are your rules around service dogs, or anything like that. I feel like it just takes it, it makes it so much like you're not asking permission, that I don't look at it like a bad way. Anyway, do what you will with that. I just wanted to throw that out there because I feel like that's super important, especially as a new handler, if you're asking what to bring, that you might still be at that level. So that. Another thing that I don't have here with me bring a puppy pad. Don't ever use this out in public for your dog to pee on, by the way. But you're bringing a puppy pad for a few reasons. Number one, if your dog has an accident, that plastic backing on it, it's gonna be so much easier for you to absorb whatever they've done and have a bag all in one, because the back of them is plastic, and just get it and go. Also, why you should always bring bags. So you should always bring poop bags with you, even if you're in a store. But like I said, having a unscented puppy pee pad with you in your bag it can be a lifesaver, because if your dog accidentally pees somewhere, that's going to soak it up. So while we're talking about the cleaning supplies you need to have with you, so if you are in public and your service dog has an accident, there are a few things you need to do. Number one, you always need to clean up after them. The other thing, you need to leave pretty quickly. You need to clean up. You need to let a store attendant know. You need to get it clean as you can. You need to excuse yourself and go. But before you do that, you need to clean up. So if you have a puppy pad with you, this is awesome, because you can typically clean it kind of all up in one hit. If it is something that's gonna be hard and you're gonna need an assistant to clean up, what I would do personally is I would cover it with that puppy pad, and I would try to block. Like if you have a cart, or if you see anything you can block to keep somebody else from getting in it and stepping in it, I would do that. And then I would go find a person. Depending on where you are, you may see another human. And if you see another human, I would definitely just ask them, hey, can you tell a store attendant that there's been an incident over here? Like, don't just clean it up and leave either. You need to let a store employee know, because that is a biohazard, because it's a bodily fluid that's come out of something. You need to clean it up the very best you can, number one, but you need to let them know, because they may have a special protocol where they need to use some type of a cleaning solution on it. They probably do. You might want to take, if it is a younger dog, therapy isn't as big on needing to play and needing to chew and stuff whenever she's gone as she was as a baby. But whenever she was a tiny, tiny baby and we were just learning about being quiet out in public, I would take a chew for her. I don't recommend doing this after your dog is supposed to be tasking. This is definitely going to be, I mean, you can depending on how well trained your dog is. But if you're doing training outings and the whole point is them to be tasking, then I wouldn't want to have a toy or something there. This is for if they're being left in one spot on their placemat for a while. If they're going to be having to just lay there and be good, you might want to provide some type of a toy. Also, if they're too young to be learning tasks and they're literally just learning how to like observe and be quiet in the world, maybe having a little toy then would be okay too. It's going to really depend on your dog. Some dogs really like to have a toy a lot, and some dogs don't care. So you might want to take something. If you are taking a toy into public or chew into public, if it's a chew, make sure it's nothing really, really stinky, because other people are around you and we want to be courteous. If it is a toy, also make sure it's not really loud. So I wouldn't do squeaks or grunts or anything. I think you could get away with a crinkle as long as it's not way over crinkly. But anything just kind of quiet that they can sort of just play with is really good. The silent squeaker stuff, personally, I can't hear it, which means other people can't either, but maybe your dog can. That might be a good idea too for public if if you're at that age where you just need a toy out in public. Oh, boots. So we always have boots. Fairby wears them whenever it is hot out or whenever we're going anywhere that's gonna be dirty. But I like to have boots in my bag. These are her backup boots. These are just rough wear, but these stay with us. So I keep safety goggles on Fairby, but obviously that would be with us too. But I really like the Rec Specs. They have them in a few different colors. You can get a clear lens too. I have seen some service dog handlers leave the glasses on their dogs in the store because it prevents eye contact. And I'll tell you my opinion on that no one asked for. I think yes, it could be good for the dog, but I also think it's gonna be crap for you as a handler, because everyone is gonna stop and ask you what's on your dog's head. I think a lot of people will look at you like you're wanting attention, and they will then give you the attention and ask you questions. So if your dog struggles with making eye contact with people and they're not supposed to, the Rec Specs could be a good solution for that. But also just keep in mind, you're gonna have a lot more people who are gonna interact with you. So, it could go either way. The other thing is a crossbody leash. This is what we actually use, but I leave this in my bag because the only time we use a crossbody leash is whenever we're not home. So it stays in my bag. Also a leash wrap. The one that I have that we use the most is from Patience and Love. So this is a wet bag for dogs, and I always have these on my leash, but I carry one in my bag as well. And so this is a smell-proof bag. It's waterproof, so you can put anything nasty in here that gets wet. You can put a wet toy in here, wet clothes, literally. It's like made for babies. This is a dog one, but it's like a bag for like dirty baby diapers and stuff. So anyway, inside of this, I have a pack of paper towels that are just folded up in a Ziploc bag. Because once again, you can never have enough way to clean up. I don't carry a puppy pad anymore, by the way. If I did, I wouldn't probably have this, but that's in there. And then I just have a roll of poop bags on the edge that are brand new, never been used. Oh, her raincoat. So this is her raincoat. It folds up into its own pouch, which I really like. I'll link this one. So this is really awesome for a service dog because you can fold it up and put it in this. It has a strap, but this is a good thing to have with you. This is a good thing to have just in your arsenal of things, along with the waterproof boots. But you know, you may not take this every day because it's not gonna rain every day, but this is a really good thing just to have, just to own. Everything is in here with the exception of that big bag of wipes because we're not putting a big bag of wipes in here. I wouldn't normally do that. I would typically put, like I said, 2. So I just want to show you this will actually zip with all this in here. It's all in here. And then I still have this whole entire front pocket right here. This is typically where I'll put my phone, is this one, because it's easy to get to and it zips, so it should be fine. And then right here in this one is typically where I'll put my keys. This handle is actually pretty comfortable. It's rope type stuff, and it does have a clasp right here. They have this in a ton of colors. I'm telling you about it. I've had this bag since 2019 probably. Yeah, I got it right before I got Fierby. So they should still have them. It's called a rope bag, but I'll link this. So this is what I carry for training outings. And then I bet you thought we were done. This has been a forever video. So this is called a walk bag. So you can pick your strap, which is really cool. It has a mesh pocket right here, which this is typically where I put treats. Oh, that's another thing. Always bring treats. Bring treats, bring treats, bring treats. Have a ton of treats. Tons of treats. But anyway, so treats go here. This is just like a mesh pocket. It's actually made so that this big part holds treats because this is waterproof, but I don't use it for that. So I put my phone, my wallet, anything all like that in here now. And then her poop bags are on the back. So I don't take much now. I literally just take poop bags, a wipe, poop bags, a wipe, and that's it. Now, so I'm actually editing this video and I need to pop in and clarify something. So we do not carry that little bag if we are going to like a place where we're gonna have to be there a while. So I carry that little walk bag that I showed you a second ago at the end as just if we're going on quick outings. So this is shopping, anything where we're not going to be there for a long time and we're not going to be sitting down. If we are still doing something where we're going to sit, so a doctor, a restaurant, anything at all where we are going to be like staying there for a while, I use the big bag. So I just wanted to clarify because I feel like the way I ended that, it's like, oh, I only use this now. But you can fit so much in that little bag that you would need for like a typical like shopping trip, you know what I mean? Another thing that you should probably carry, I think everyone should carry this, but because you have a service dog with you now, you need to carry an in case of emergency card, and you need to have this in your dog's vest. You need to have this inside, like anywhere you can put this on your dog, and you also need to have it on the outside of them whenever you are in a vehicle so that it's really easy to see, because we're thinking about ourselves, of course, for our own safety, but because we have a dog with us now, it's a little different. So making sure you have emergency contact information for your dog in case something were to happen and you were to not be conscious for whatever reason, having that on them having contacts for them, having, having someone who knows that they are the emergency contact for the dog is important. But also having that information for emergency responders and having it written out ICE. So in case of emergency, having it written out on that is really important. I'll show you ours. This is what hers looks like. It just says service dog in case of emergency. Do not separate dog from handler, emergency info inside. And then inside of this, I have all of anything that somebody would need to know about Farabee, where she goes, where I go, anything, any emergency contacts, anything at all that people need to know. So that's inside of this. And this is just a little vinyl, like a badge holder. You can get these online, you can get them at an office store, anything like that. And then I just have this attached to her car harness. And the other side of that is an ADA law card. Just because might as well, right? But I have something like this in every one of her vest pockets, and also of course on her car seat, because a lot of times if we're in the car, we don't have a vest on because she's in the car. So this, and then this is the Sleepy Pod Click It terrain harness. If you're interested, I really like it. I'll link the video I did about it. So that. I hope you enjoyed seeing what we bring in Farabee's bag for her. I hope this was helpful. I hope it gave you some ideas. Like I said, I will link our service dog training planners and books for you. The log is really what I was talking about being so convenient to have. Also the ADA cards. Oh, and the vest tutorial. I'll link that too. So thanks so much for hanging out with us today. I hope you have an awesome week and we will see you soon.